own mind about Andrew Tate. Here it is. So what are you charged with?
That's a really good question. I'm charged with...
Also, low-key, I totally forgot that he's on house arrest and he can't leave his house. I see he's still wearing suits that are way too small on him. Okay. Can someone please get him a suit that fits him? That doesn't look like it's gonna fucking rip? God damn, dude. This is the most, like... I don't even know, dude.
With being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting.
That is not what you're being charged with. You're being charged with human trafficking and what? Like assault, rape? That's not the head of a crime ring.
Girls to make TikTok videos to steal the money from the TikTok views.
Recruiting girls to make TikTok videos and stealing the money. So it's really a...
Wrong. Jesus. Me when I lie, dude. All right, let's look it up. Andrew Tate charged. He has been charged in Romania with rape, human trafficking, and forming an organized crime group to sexually exploit women. Okay, so what he's saying is true, but he's failing to admit to the other two things. The rape and the human trafficking. I don't know. Those seem kind of important. Sorry, I got distracted.
A financial crime?
It looks that way. And it's very interesting because the girls who they've identified to add to the file are saying that we're not victims of anything and this isn't true. But the state believes it's true. And the state thinks that I, as a 35-year-old man, woke up. I was already extremely financially successful. I was already a father. I was already very well known. I had no financial motivation. I have no criminal record. It's not my personality profile, but I woke up at the age of 35 and decided to make girls do TikTok to enrich myself with the pennies that I would earn from TikTok views.
Oh, fuck right off, dude. Oh my God. Fuck right off. Also, what does he mean that he's a... I'm pretty sure he's never mentioned having kids up until right now. He has a daughter, I believe. What a fucking shit show, dude. Holy. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I saw a creator fund of a guy with 100K on TikTok and he made 82 cents last month. TikTok his ass on RevSplit. Oh no, TikTok, you do not make money on TikTok. There's no money to be made on TikTok. But like, chat, have you guys heard about like really predatory agencies that take advantage of women who do OnlyFans content or Fansly content or any of that type of content?
Just 14 months. Ever you look cute today, Denims shy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the 14 months. Yeah. I've heard like horror stories of people who have gotten agencies that will straight up take 50%. I was talking to someone in the industry and they were telling me about this one pretty prominent male creator who's now getting sued to fuck. But he was taking like 50% of rev, and basically in exchange what they do is that they just like spam your fucking fans and that's it. That's it. AKA every talent agency. Yeah. The modeling talent agencies don't do anything. They don't do anything. They don't do anything. They just spam your viewers or your followers or your fans or subscribers or whatever the term is. And they're just like, hey, how's it going? Hey, blah, blah, blah. Hey, this. It happens in other industries too. Yeah. I mean, it's like modeling industries as well, like campsite stuff. I've heard about like horror stories of like women who sign up for these agencies and the people who write for the accounts will convince subscribers that like they're dating. So they'll be pretending to be like, pretend like Amaranth worked with like an agency. They would be on Amaranth's account sending messages to people being like, hey, like, I love you so much. I can't wait to meet up together. You know, if you send $2,000 right now, you can come fly over and we'll meet up. And then they have them send it through like something that's non-refundable. I think it's like Cash App or like Venmo or something. And then they say, yeah, we're not meeting. And it's like, this is how you get women killed, dude. Holy fuck, dude. And yeah, so I have known people who've told me about like this crazy shit, and it's not good. It's really not good. Like every single modeling agency is trash. Every single one is trash. That's even something that Andrew Tate admitted to doing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why, right? It's like, it's very lucrative to just lie to people. When you just lie, yeah, it's great. I was going to say one other thing as well on the topic. Let me just try and remember. Oh, a friend of mine right now is like in the middle of like trying to get out of a very predatory contract with an agency. And I feel very bad for her because she signed a contract with an agency that's very predatory, that basically will steal your income like 2 or 3 years after you leave the agency. And I'm trying my best to help her because I wasn't there when she signed the contract, so I couldn't help her. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yep. So yeah, it's not great. Seems like an uncomfortable contract. I mean, yeah. How is that even legal? It's definitely legal. It's definitely legal to do that. Yep. You always have to read every contract, every single one. That's my problem with OnlyFans outside of people doing something consensual. I don't think you should milk people like that. Okay, so here's the thing though. Like 99% of creators do not do this. 99% of creators, and basically all the women I know who do like any modeling, explicitly say that they choose not to use specific words or say specific things because they want to reduce the parasocial aspect as much as possible. So it'll be more like, oh, like, hey, here's a really cool video of me doing this. Feel free to buy it if you want to buy it. Oh, hey, here's a really cool set that I was working on, blah, blah, blah. But I know a friend of mine who was working with an agency explicitly told them, hey, please don't use this type of language because you are, like, don't ever say, like, I love you guys. Or, like, I love you to anyone. Please don't do that. Please don't send those messages. Please don't send messages that say, like, oh, baby, or, like, babe, or whatever. Because it's very parasocial, and I don't want people to get the wrong idea. And this agency, just like every fucking agency in the space, was doing that shit. It's like, dude, I hope the best for the friend. Yeah. Because there's a difference between saying, like, making a tweet, I guess, and being like, I love my community so much, versus like a private DM where you tell someone directly, like, I love you so much. Like, it's very different. You know what I mean? Silent Jack, thank you for the 2 months. Mook GB, thank you so much for the tier 1. And Miss Dizzy Pixels, thank you for the tier 1. But in my experience, most, like 99% of people who do modeling explicitly try to be as careful as they can because A, it's dishonest, and B, it's dangerous to the women doing it. If you're like even deceiving people or convincing people or whatever, you're going to end up with like stalkers, and you're going to end up with people that like show up at your fucking doorstep. You know what I mean? So yeah. Also, I think OnlyFans is good because it decentralizes content creation, but they can't verify that the creators aren't under duress. Yeah. It's people who are disconnected from the risk. Oh yeah, of course. Think about it. If you manage someone else's page, right? And you're just trying to make as much money as you can off this other person. You don't really care if this person gets like fucking stalkers. You don't care if this person gets like someone at their fucking front door, you know? The porn industry has a lot of stalkers. I mean, basically, like, honestly, just like existing as a person online, especially as a woman online, you're going to end up with that shit. Okay, back to the video.
So in the United States, I think the belief is that you were charged with human trafficking.
Yeah, that's human trafficking, because what you do is you force a girl to work against her will for financial gain. That's human trafficking. And their justification for this is that girls do TikTok. Some girls I know who they've found who say they're not victims have TikTok accounts.
How do you force someone to do TikTok videos?
I guess the prosecutor is going to have to explain that, isn't he? It's a very interesting scenario I'm in, and I'm inside of Romania, so I have to show a degree of respect to the Romanian judicial system, and I have to show a degree of respect to the situation I'm in. But the overall charge is that there's an organized criminal group. There's a group of us. I'm the head of it. My brother is below me, and we use the lover boy method to convince women to do TikTok videos to make money, so that
This feels like I'm reading O.J. Simpson's, like, If I Did It. Well, apparently, the Romanian police is charging me with human trafficking and using the lover boy method with my brother Tristan Tate, where we convince women to fly out and then we deceive them. Allegedly, it's like, was it If I Did It? Sorry. Okay. Sage Philip thank you for the 16 months.
that we can steal the TikTok money.
He used loverboy method in air quotes as if he hasn't explicitly said he does exactly that in his own videos.
He literally has if someone could pull it up, I would love you forever. Just kidding. But for real though, thank you. If you could find it, I would really appreciate it. He has like a video of him saying, here's how you make crazy money on the internet. First, you find a woman, okay? You find her from a dating app. Okay. Second, go on a few dates with her. Okay. And then, what you're going to want to do is you have to sleep with her. This is very important so that she can get attached to you. Okay. Then you have to get her to fall in love with you. Then you have to convince her, just bring it up, be like, do you want to do modeling?
MK comrade.
It was on his old website. Yeah. He's like, women are not going to listen to you. Bring up, if you talk about OnlyFans or you talk about campsites, women are going to leave on the first date. But if you wait until they're already falling in love with you, then they're going to be willing to do it. And then you tell them, hey, we're going to get rich together. And then you take 70, what was it? I think it was 70% of their money. You fly them out to a different country and then they can't leave. And then you tell them to do that content forever. It's like, okay. John Veg, thank you for the 16 months. It's insane percent. Yeah. He says we'll do 50-50 and then he takes an additional 20% for taxes.
So there's no, just to be clear, you are not accused of pandering, of pimping, of
No.
forcing women to have sex with anybody.
No, not forcing them to have sex, not restraining their movement, not stopping them from living a full life, but the fact that we are somehow
Hello,
convincing
kitty.
them to have TikTok.
Where's your dad? Thank you for the 8 months.
Very interesting.
I think it's this.
You cannot get a girl to work for you having fucked. So the recruitment process is the same as the PhD course. You message them on Instagram. The PhD course is my recruitment system. I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You fuck the girl. After you fuck the girl, you do the PhD test. If she passes the PhD test and she wants to be with you, then you start mentioning things like,
I don't remember
yeah,
what
but
the
you know, you're
PhD
always
test
busy. You're always at work. You can come work for me. So, as I said, you cannot try and approach girls to do webcam. Hi, do you want to do webcam? It's bullshit. It doesn't work. No one's going to say yes. And any girl who does say yes is doing it. She doesn't like you. She doesn't know you. She doesn't love you. She's saying yes purely for money. I'm going to sneeze. And any girl who wants money that bad is going to skank you and leave you when she realizes you get a big cut of it. So even if you do get a girl to say yes, that
Sorry, I didn't want to comment on it, but like he sneezed into his hand instead of his elbow.
way. Even if you do say to a girl, look, let's make some money. She's only in it for the money. She's not in it to please you.
And if she's only in it for the money, she's going to get pissed off with her cut. Because they're going to Google up how much a token's worth, how many tokens they made, and all that shit. They're going to get pissed off with their cut. Remember the tax thing, so you only have to pay them 30% instead of 50%. That's important for your profitability.
So here he is admitting that he only pays them 30% of the money that they're making.
So you don't want a girl who's in it for money. You want a girl who's in it to be with you. So you meet a girl, you take her on dates, you fuck her, whatever. She passes the PhD test. Then you start saying things like, oh yeah, but you're always working. I have to do some traveling and you can't come. I want to bring you with me. Traveling is a great one because the thing about this business is mobile. If you can find a good Airbnb with good internet, you can run it somewhere else. So it's a good little caveat to throw in. Oh, and you're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen. Come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. You, your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. My first girl was so good, it was easy. My girl would sit there and go, oh my God, before this I was a waitress and it was shit, and now I do this and I make so much money, and the guys all love me and they adore me, and on my birthday they send me presents, and I get so much money, blah, 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 and it's so much fun, and we stay at home, and da-da-da-da, and we're gonna go to Thailand soon, and we're gonna be working in Thailand, and we're gonna stay there for as long as we want, you should come with us, it's gonna be so much fun, da-da-da-da, martinis, 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 bang, threesome, slam them.
I feel like I don't even have to say anything. I feel like this is incriminating enough.
Both. Your bottom bitch knows. This girl's like, okay, well, I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give them a bottle of vodka. Put on the fucking chatterbait, 100 tokens per shot. The guys will send loads of money to get the girls drunk because guys like drunk girls. Girls will sit there, get drunk, have a great time. You say it's your new job now. You haven't got to go to work ever again. That's how you recruit girls. You do not recruit girls any other way.
So let's go back just 20 seconds. Let's go back 20 seconds.
Money so that we can steal the TikTok money.
So there's no, just to be clear, you are not accused of pandering, of pimping, of
No.
forcing women to have sex with anybody.
No, not forcing them to have sex, not restraining their movement, not stopping them from living a full life, but the fact that we are somehow convincing them to have TikTok. Very interesting. I don't think...
But there's no actual... I'm asking you this because I do think it's a widespread belief that you were accused of pimping.
Yeah, no, that's nothing to do with any of this case. Absolutely nothing. And it's kind of scary because the crime in itself of human trafficking is a unique one because they can...
Yeah? Okay. Okay.
ignore the statement of the victim. So the girls have come forward and said, this is insane. You've just picked us because we're near Andrew and we're his friends. But the whole idea of the crime is they can say that she's brainwashed, right? She's under duress. So you can ignore her statement. State says she's a victim, regardless of the fact that she says she's not a victim. So it's very interesting because the difference between sex and rape is consent, right?
Right.
But they remove all of that. They're like, nope, you're a victim. No matter what you say, we're deciding you're a victim. And they've chosen them. And of course, these girls do nothing pornographic. They've never had sex with anyone, nothing to do with that. So they've picked TikTok. So it's scary. Imagine you're a full-grown man anywhere in the world today. They can find two girls who have TikTok on their phone, which is every single female on the planet, and they can accuse you of forcing them to take the TikTok money. And even if the girls say they didn't do that, this isn't true, then you're still a human trafficker.
But force, what is that?
Yeah. The classic, it could happen to you. Uh-huh. It's true, chat. You know, like you as a grown-ass adult, if another woman around you has TikTok, you will go to jail. Yes. Even if she doesn't think she's being coerced, yes. The legal system is going to lock up every single male. It's true and real. It's true and real. It's going to happen to you. Any minute now. Any minute now. I go to jail every day because women near me have TikTok. God, Jesus Christ.
Consist of forcing someone to do something? Are they accusing you of using violence or?
No, they're accusing me, and this is the thing, they're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
And by the way, these charges presumably are public, so...
They're public, and this is extremely serious, but if you actually analyze the overall case against me, they're saying that Andrew and his brother, by being nice men, convinced girls to have TikTok accounts and then take the money. And it's very interesting because inside of the entire case file, there's not a single financial transaction to us for money.
What are the penalties?
They're extremely severe, 5 to 10 years in jail. And I've already served, coming up now, 7 months in a form of jail.
Okay, I know rehabilitative justice, leftism, etc. However, I stand by the statement that there are some people that can't be rehabilitated. That you should have a rehabilitation system, but some people can't be. Okay? And Andrew Tate is definitely on that list. Definitely. Like, there are, like, most crimes, I think, that people end up getting charged for or that people end up getting convicted for are like, for example, the entirety of, like, the crime of shoplifting. We need to completely rework everything surrounding shoplifting. Because people are shoplifting because they're poor and they need things. That's why they're shoplifting. You know? It's not an inherently evil crime. It's a crime as a means for, like, living, right? Gardy, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you. And if you aren't stealing because you are just trying to make a living, you're stealing because of your kleptomania, which is a mental health condition. And you should instead be getting mental health treatment instead of getting sent to jail, right? The crime of extorting other human beings, assaulting other human beings, being fully cognizant of everything, and then telling other people how to go and abuse other people. I don't know if that can be rehabilitated, okay? I don't know if that can be rehabilitated. I think once you're at that fucking psychopath level where you have no empathy for other human beings, yeah. I think you can rot in jail, actually. It's fine.
They can only
So
hold
you are essentially incarcerated right now.
Absolutely, I'm on house arrest, and that counts as jail. You can only be held 6 months without charge. I was initially picked up, thrown in a cell without charge, and I think the intention of the entire investigation at that point was to find the crime because they had very, very weak evidence. They contacted 2,000 people who know me or knew me. They tried very hard to convince some female somewhere to come forward and say something bad about me. The media machine, which works hands in hands with the justice machine, as you know very well, did exactly that. In fact, they offered bribes effectively.
The media machine and the justice machine work hand in hand. Okay, dude.
They'd call up ex-girlfriends and say, if you
All aboard the toxic gossip train.
have anything bad to say about Andrew, we can pay you $50,000 for the story. And they tried very hard. They didn't find any evidence of anything. They then released me on house arrest, and then 2 days before the legal limit in which they had to drop everything, they charged me with whatever they had from the beginning, which is very little. And now we have to wait for the Romanian judicial system to analyze the file and, God willing, throw it away.
How long did you spend in jail?
I was in jail for 92 days in a Romanian jail cell.
What was that like?
It was certainly an interesting experience. I won't lie and say it was easy. It was certainly very difficult. The uncertainty of it. It's a very uncertain situation to be picked up on just before New Year's Eve and thrown in a cell without charge. And I'm asking different prison guards and different prisoners, how long am I going to be here? One prisoner's like, I've been here 2 years. I was like, have you been charged? He goes, yeah, but I haven't gone to court yet. Like, everyone's been there for years. I thought I was going to be there for years. And it certainly takes a mental toll on you. And I think jail is a different experience when you know you're innocent. There was a guy in there for murder. He's like, yeah, I murdered someone, I'm in jail. You can your soul and your mind can accept the punishment for a crime. But when you've actually done nothing wrong, I think jail is a lot harder.
Did you know why you were there?
Not initially. So for about the first 2 weeks, I never actually got told in English what I was accused of, because I was arrested on December 29th.
Dude, fuck off, man. It must have been difficult. He fought ghosts or some stupid shit like that. Dude, literally fuck off, man. Literally fuck off, okay? I'm pretty sure a fucking 6'3" professional fighter will be fine in a fucking Romanian jail. Literally fuck off, dude.
There's New Year's.
What were the circumstances of that?
Yeah, December 29th, 5 a.m., the armed guards ran in this house. They spent all day searching the entire house. They're very interested in electronics, as most federal agencies are. And then they took me that evening and said, we're going to go and put you in jail for 24 hours. And after 24 hours, you see a judge, and the judge will decide if you stay in jail. And the judge decided I should stay in jail.
What did you do? I mean, who'd you call?
I had a lawyer, and my lawyer came and he said, we need to analyze the case file. We need to see what they have against you. You're being accused of human trafficking. I was like, human trafficking? That's insane. Who? When? What? I went to jail, and then I was given all this paper in Romanian. I don't speak Romanian, although I live here. And then I was waiting for the translation. So I think it's about 2 weeks before I finally got the papers in English to understand why I was in a jail cell. And then I really understood how insane the accusations were.
What is human trafficking?
Yeah, so the overall...
I'm gonna torpedo myself off of a bridge in Minecraft. This is just incredible stuff happening here.
My understanding of it, they're saying that human trafficking is when you convince a woman to do something she doesn't want to do for financial gain. And there's different methods you can do that. You can do that through force, and you can also do that through emotional coercion.
I think most people, just speaking from the American perspective, most people believe that human trafficking is effectively slavery, selling human beings.
That's what I believe as well. Absolutely. And this is the thing that's so interesting. When you finally end up the enemy of the Matrix, and they use the legal system as a weapon to punish you for having...
He really dropped the Matrix in this video, huh? Okay.
Having an opinion, you realize how subjective the law is, right? Because it can be a weapon. When you have something subjective, you can just pick and choose. So if they sit and say, human trafficking is a woman doing something for financial gain against her will via emotional coercion. Well, he knows these two girls, they have TikTok accounts.
Emotional coercion?
Convincing her. That's what I'm accused of, because they have no proof of me doing anything wrong. So they said, he's convinced these girls to do TikTok for money. The girls have said, this is not true. And the state is denying their statement, saying, no, your brain will...
Homie, we literally just watched the video.
Then you start mentioning...
We literally just watched the video.
It is true. And I went to jail.
So how is the state... So the state is trying to coerce the women. So how is the state not committing human trafficking by the same definition?
Well, absolutely. It's very interesting. It's very interesting that you can sit someone down and tell them they're a victim when they say they're not a victim.
You're a victim of being coerced, and we're going to try to coerce you into conceding you were coerced.
Exactly. It's a very interesting scenario. And okay. Yeah. And it's a very interesting scenario. And it's up until this point, no judge has looked at the evidence of the case. So up until this point, I've been to court a bunch of times. But the only reason I was in court was to discuss my preventative detention. So under Romanian law, if you being free can impede the investigation, you should stay in jail. So the judge agreed that, yeah, maybe if he's free, he can damage this investigation because they're trying very hard to get something on this guy. So I've done a bunch of jail time. And now it just begins. The judge is going to look at the case. And like I said, God willing, I still have enough faith in the Romanian judicial system that she's going to look at this and go, this is not a crime.
Or you're aware of the media coverage of this, however. So you're in jail for 90 days or more, and the rest of the world is talking about you. Do you know what they're saying?
They're saying very heinous things, and I would hate to come across as a conspiracy theorist, Tucker, but I kind of have a feeling that this might be something to do with my influence and an attempt to slander my name. Perhaps I'm crazy. But the fact that they chose...
My brother in Christ. That is insane. This is insane. That's crazy. None of this interview is based in reality. He's literally just getting on and being like, I did nothing wrong. It's the Matrix. They're coming after me. They're coming out.
Chose such a heinous crime, and they reported it so heavily, and they won't shut up and keep repeating basically a slander attack day after day after day. Also considering the fact that other people who genuinely commit heinous crimes have far more favorable press coverage. I don't want you to think I'm a conspiracy theorist. Please, Tucker, I would hate for you to come here and call me crazy. Yeah. But something very strange about it, and I think
What, when Jeffrey Epstein's friends call you immoral?
Yeah. The goal of it is certainly to slander my name, and I like to see it as a litmus test. I like to see it as an intelligence test. Anybody who wakes up and looks at me and goes, he's a human trafficker because of TikTok, they're fully gone.
So, but from the West, just to defend the average news consumer in the West.
Sure.
Andrew Tate, kind of an outlaw.
Yep.
Lives in some palace in Romania, wherever that is.
Yep.
And Romania sounds like the kind of place where human trafficking is like the main industry.
A lot of it happens here. That's what's so crazy about it, right? What's so crazy is if they really want to find...
What a coincidence that you happen to move somewhere that has a lot of that happening. It's almost like there aren't a lot of protections for the people and the women there. Weird.
Find a human trafficker. I think they could probably do it quite easily. But they managed to get me.
That's certainly the perception. But it's one of those charges that kind of sells itself.
Oh, absolutely. And it doesn't matter if you're found guilty or not, right? You're a human trafficker forever. And but I do think that public consciousness is changing. I think with things like there's been some very large court cases recently involving some very famous people in which women were caught lying, trying to slander men's names for rape and these kinds of things. And I don't think people believe it anymore. But that scares me to a degree, because I think that the typical weapon, the standardized playbook, is now failing, and I don't know what the new playbook's going to be. It's almost like better the devil you know. That you're too famous, you're too successful, we don't like you. Call him a rapist or a human trafficker, put him all over the news, slander his name, try and wreck his life. Now that nobody believes it, what's the next move? What are they going to try next?
Wouldn't it just have been easier to commit like a massive financial crime and defraud people of billions? Come up with like a fake cryptocurrency, call it like, I don't know,
Scooter, stop. You're too much.
FTX, or just give a name to it.
Yep, something random.
You know, steal billions and get your parents involved and buy a bunch of real estate in the Bahamas, and then like you'd be sort of a hero, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I would have certainly made a lot more money than TikTok, because I don't think TikTok even pays you for views. And if it certainly does, I never got a single transaction from it. So it's a very interesting scenario. But if I was accused of a financial crime, my name would not be slandered. So
of course not. You have the presumption of innocence. So just back to the jail thing. So you're in with your brother.
At the beginning, I was not, but towards the end, I was, yeah.
What is...
Is Tucker Carlson trying to suggest that Friedman didn't... Lex Friedman... It was his name is Lex Friedman, right? Let me just make sure. No, it was something else. Wait, who the fuck is this? Why did I think of this guy? What was the FTX's guy name? Fuck. What was his name? Oh, Sam Fried? Really? Bankman? What the fuck? Why did I think Lex? I don't know. Anyways, this guy. This is the fucking most silly ass name I've ever seen in my life. That's probably why I forgot it. Is Tucker Carlson trying to suggest that this guy didn't get blasted on every single fucking news station available? Sorry, is this pronounced Freed? To the person in chat who said, it's F-R-E-I-D, not F-R-I-E-D. I hope you feel silly. I hope you feel silly right now. But anyways, is Tucker actually trying to suggest that this guy didn't get fucking blasted on literally every news organization available on the internet? And even mainstream? Like, I'm pretty sure CNN still fucking fried this guy. I'm pretty sure MSNBC even went after this guy. I don't think that guy had any area or any space other than maybe like fucking Wall Street bets where people were like, yo, honestly, king shit. Even NPR did. Yeah, and NPR is like the most, like, they try to be the most milquetoast that they can be.
What did you do all day?
It's a good question. I looked at the wall, stared at the wall, smoked cigarettes, lots of push-ups, read the Quran,
You smoke cigarettes.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't say Quran on Fox, dude. I know this isn't Fox News anymore, but Tucker Carlson's audience won't like that.
Did push-ups and read the Quran.
Basically, yes. And certainly had some introspective moments. Tried my best to get out. Tried my best to via my small phone calls, understand what's happening in the outside world. Tried to make sure that the people I love and care about are taken care of, because I'm the man of my family, and I'm also the man of quite a large, I wouldn't say empire, but life. And there's a whole lot of people who rely on me. You know, you have staff and families, you have children and families.
I know the feeling, yeah.
So when you're plucked from that, it's kind of strange. You're in jail and you're concerned for yourself, but your primary concerns are also all your duties as a man. I have duties as a man. I don't want children to starve.
You've got a whole tribe.
I've got people to pay. So it was very, very frustrating, constantly trying to make sure everybody else was okay and feeling helpless. That's what hurt me the most.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like a real supervillain on camera. You know how like you watch like whatever fucking Marvel or fucking DC, I don't know, pick some fictional universe, and then they put the villain on camera and the villain's like, honestly, it wasn't my persecution that hurt me. It was the fact that I couldn't be there for the people who needed me. And then the interview cuts and they're like, okay, finally, fucking Christ, where's my human stool? This is literally...
Sam Bankman Fried Chicken is the biggest babe name. He lied about money which people trusted because of Bankman. And he then lied about how the food with fried chicken. Did this joke land? Probably didn't, cause mobile is delayed. Back to the bald man.
Was so delayed. Yeah, Homelander, the firemen are the real heroes. This is unironically actually like a Homelander moment. This is it. In real time.
To make sure everybody I love and care about was fine, and I wasn't as powerful as I should have been, and that was very upsetting, and especially if they were going to keep me there for years. I was having serious concerns about how I can feed the people I love.
Did you ever come to the edge at all?
No. I certainly had some days I was less happy than others, but I made sure that my mindset was built in a way that I could always be doing something constructive. And also, I think you get what you give in life. And if I ever felt particularly sad on a day, I would try very hard to make other people happy, because if I made other people smile, I'd feel better. So even the dinner ladies or the prison guards, I'd try very hard just to make people smile. I know it sounds silly. Some of the prison guards were more open than others, but there was a couple prison guards who were ice cold, who didn't want to say a word to me. And I'm like, hey, bro, your hair looks amazing. And he just stare at me like he wants, shut up. But I just try my best to cheer people up, to cheer myself up. And as a man, all you can do is just find the resolve to continue doing the best you can in the current circumstance. So,
what were the other prisoners like?
I don't want to insult Romania in any way, and I love this country and I chose to live here. But if I had to describe it for the people, for an American audience to understand, I don't think Romania and a lot of these countries have the same kind of mental health setup or the mental health support that a lot of Western nations have. So you end up in jail. So I think there was a lot of mental health problems inside the jail. So it was very similar. It wasn't just...
Okay. The audacity to say that the mental health resources available in Romania are not good enough. And that is what is causing an influx in prisoners is crazy to say to an American audience. That's insane to say to an American audience. We have like the most incarcerated population per capita than any other country. Please, please, please.
To jail, there was also a lot of mental health problems in there, which adds a new complexity and a new dimension to the suffering, because there's just random screaming and there's suicide and it's certainly not a very nice place to be.
Oh, so it's horrifying.
Yeah, I don't want to go back.
you hear the phrase Romanian prison, and it sounds tough. So it was what you would imagine.
It is, and when this process is over, there's a lot more I will say, but I will say the staff were very nice to me, and I want to make this clear. I want to make it very clear that all the staff in the jail were very professional and very nice to me. I would almost say that they believed I was innocent, and they understood that I didn't belong there. There was a semi-apologetic vibe to the way I was treated by the guards, if that makes sense.
Yes.
They understood very well. I don't think anybody, like I said, with a functioning brain believes that me at the age of 35 decided to steal TikTok money and ruin my entire life without financial motivation to girls who say they're not victims of anything. I don't think anybody with a brain...
Well, the fact that you're not accused of a sex crime or of violence, which I think most people don't really understand.
Yep.
And they can look it up.
Yep.
I mean, but you're not actually accused of rape, selling anyone, pimping.
Correct.
Okay. That right there raises a lot of questions.
Well, yeah, and this is the thing that's so interesting because I'm accused of using a method of human trafficking called the lover boy method. So how that would traditionally work is a man would meet a girl, become her boyfriend, take her to another country, turn her into a prostitute.
Now, if I, of course, didn't do it, but if I was human trafficking, I allegedly, according to the Romanian police, was using the lover boy method. Now, let me explain it in great detail. Step 1 of the lover boy method. This part's the most important part. You have to get the woman to fall in love with you, okay? Step 2, you get her to travel out of the country so you can seclude her from everyone else, okay? Step 3, now this is obviously the part that you've been waiting for. You force her into the camming business and she knows she can't escape. So she has to keep working for you forever. And then you make a huge profit. With that money, you can basically do whatever you want. You can start hiring more people to join your human trafficking industry. Personally, I would never do that ever. Of course. Okay? Ever. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Right. You take their passports too. Yeah.
Say I love you, like pimping.
Of course.
But they're saying, because all my conversations with these girls are very nice, they're saying that I use the lover boy method to convince them to do TikTok. And once again, I never made a penny from TikTok, and I have no interest in girls' TikTok's accounts, and I've never made any money from TikTok in my life.
So that raises the question.
He keeps saying TikTok instead of like the cam sites. And I'm assuming that's because it's for Tucker Carlson. I assume the two of them spoke and they agreed to say TikTok instead of like the cam sites. Because there's nothing in there about TikTok.
So that right there, I think, I mean, we can let people assess. I'm not, an expert on the Romanian legal code, but that's kind of not the impression that most people have. Okay?
And that's the media who have made that the media have tried very hard to do that. And if I had to estimate, I think that the overall intention was just to throw me in a cell, use the media machine to drum up something real. I think that's what the goal was.
So, but what's and I believe that. It seems, obviously.
Yeah.
One thing, I've never been to Romania before, and one thing I'm struck by is the American presence here.
Oh, it's massive.
Fully understand that. So there are 3 NATO bases here now. They're bustling because of the war in Ukraine.
Yep.
One's on the Black Sea, right below Crimea. So this is strategically important, this country, to NATO.
Absolutely.
And so this is a lot less far away than I realized. It's much more American influence.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think that played a role?
Yeah, well, I think, and I don't want to get this incorrect, I think it's the 2nd or 3rd biggest U.S. embassy in the world. The U.S. embassy here looks like a prison. It's huge. They've got a huge embassy here. And even during Ceausescu, during the communism days, Romania was an ally of the West, even during communism.
Yes.
So, yes.
Ceausescu came to New York.
Yes, that's right, yeah. So Romania and America have been very good friends for a very long time. I have to be careful what I say, but it's certainly very interesting what's happened to me. The American embassy were not particularly helpful, let's put it that way. They weren't very interested in me being locked up without charge. They didn't seem very interested in getting me out.
But you're an American citizen.
Absolutely. And
so you're an American passport holder.
Correct.
So I think the average American believes, perhaps falsely, that if you are accused of a crime in a foreign country, particularly a less developed country like Romania, you go to the U.S. Embassy and someone takes an interest in your case just to make sure that your treatment falls within, accepted standards of justice.
Yeah, they came to see me, but when I was asking them what they can actually do about all of this, they weren't particularly helpful. I don't want to peddle conspiracy theories, and I've heard a lot of information, etc. But
how did I not know this interview happened? What a treat DNM taste.
This was released yesterday. Blink, thank you so much for the 11 months. Wait, I'm sorry. Could I get a quick show of hands, chat? Like, can I get some ones in chat if you have not seen this? Twos if you've seen this already. I actually don't know how many people have seen this and how many people haven't, because I have not seen it. Oh, wow. Okay. So most of us haven't seen it. I'm so cold, chat. I'm turning on my heated blanket thing. It sounds like you went to the U.S. Embassy. Define, thank you so much for the 2 months. It sounds like you went to the U.S. Embassy. They looked at the fact that you got charged with human trafficking and rape and a crime, like being the leader of a crime ring. And they said, oh, fuck this. You're not innocent. We're good. We've seen all the incriminating documents. Why the fuck would we help you? Because it's true that if you do get imprisoned like wrongfully in a different country, you can try and get in contact with like the U.S. Embassy in that country. And they are supposed to help. This has been the case in like, there have been countries that Americans have been like wrongfully or like what we believe is like wrongfully imprisoned. Brittany Griner. Yeah, that's another one as well. I forget which country is it. Saudi Arabia, maybe? I don't remember. There was a gay couple that was like arrested in a Muslim country, and the U.S. Embassy worked to like get them out, and then like sort out the problem or whatever. So yeah, it's true that the U.S. embassies will try and help you if you are in our belief wrongfully imprisoned. But once you're at the point where you yourself are a fucking multi-millionaire who actually did commit the crimes, who has videos explaining how to commit the crimes, yeah, the U.S. Embassy is not going to help you.
I wouldn't say they sanctioned it. I don't know if they had to sanction it, but something, they weren't particularly interested in getting me out. But at least they came to see me more than once. I mean, they kind of pretended to care. The UK Embassy didn't even pretend to care. The UK Embassy was, I really think they enjoyed it.
You literally said that you fled the UK to escape the rape charges there.
They didn't.
And you're a British subject as well?
Correct. And this is the kind of thing, and I want to say this here, that's kind of frustrating for me, because Romania is my home now for 7 years, but I'm half British, half American originally. And when something like this happens to you, you have this longing for home. You kind of want to go home. When you end up in a jail in a country where, even though you've lived for a long time, you don't speak the language, you don't understand the legal system, going to court in a foreign language is far more intimidating than in your own language.
I can imagine.
You don't have a clue what's being said. You don't understand how anything works. And then you kind of have this longing for home, but I feel like my home countries hate me, and they hate me because of my message, which I believe to be a positive message. So you kind of have this strange feeling of homelessness, because it's like, well, if I go to the UK, I believe they're going to attack me the same. If I go to America, I believe they're going to attack
me when I'm a multimillionaire with like fucking 15 sports cars. I feel like I'm homeless.
me the same. So where do you go? It's kind of scary.
Where do you go?
It's a good question. We're going to have to see. And
how did you wind up here?
I moved to Romania. I came to visit a long time ago. Before anybody ever visited Romania, I came to visit, and I genuinely fell in love with the place. It truly is a fantastic country. I love nature, as amazing nature. It's a very safe place. It has this reputation of being dangerous. It's not dangerous. It's very safe. The people are very good. The people are very conservative traditionally. It's almost like America was 20, 30 years ago. It's gorgeous. They have a bunch of nice restaurants and plenty of things to do, and I've never had a problem here in any way. Never had any issue with the law or with the other.
Not gonna mention, Ryan, you think of the 5 months. You're not gonna mention the fact that you went to Romania because, in your own words, it's easier to get away with rape in those countries. You're not gonna mention that part? No. Oh, okay. All right, dude. Yeah, whatever you say, man. Whatever you say. I mean, I'm just listen, man. Listen.
The other side, criminals, nothing until this came out of nowhere. So it's been very strange.
So what is it about your message, do you think, that infuriates certain people?
Well, my message is traditional masculinity. My message is to stand up and say what you mean and mean what you say. And even going to the gym nowadays is an act of defiance, because when you have a man who's built with any degree of principle, you say no to things. And I think if I have to analyze my message and why I'm so disliked by the people who dislike me, it's not the things I'm saying, it's the fact that if you adhere to my principles and you adhere to the things I say, you end up being the kind of person who will resist certain ideas. You say no. What kind of man never says no? Name a man who never says no. Men say no, right? Men wake up and say no.